Have you ever noticed how certain people seem to touch reality, and it rearranges itself around them as if the world were obeying a silent command? Perhaps you felt it for an instant. A look that changes the course of a conversation, a thought that opens an unlikely door, a decision that makes time cooperate. Today I'll lead you on a 14-step journey, starting now, so that you not only understand, but consciously use the 12 laws that move everything that exists. This isn't cold theory. It's a practical manual for those who are tired of being passengers in their own lives. I'll speak to you directly eye to eye, like someone holding your hand on a stormy night and saying, "Calm down, there's a map," and it was already there inside you. At each step, a key. At each key, a door. And behind the doors, what you've always known. That reality isn't a wall. It's a fabric. It's not a prison. It's a dance. If you stay with me until the end, something inside you will turn the page. Ready? There's an invisible thread running through everything, and that's why, when you improve one aspect of your life, others begin to flourish without you directly touching them. This law states that nothing progresses alone, and that every action has repercussions like waves that grow and return. Think of a drop falling into a lake. The circle expands, touches the shore, and returns, bringing stories of everything it touched. When you remember this, your way of speaking, buying, and promising changes, because you begin to understand that every micro-gesture imprints the world. You may feel separated, as if you're on an island surrounded by invisible walls. But notice how a small, shared joy becomes fuel for an entire group. Also notice the opposite. A harsh comment contaminates the room and the meeting goes downhill. Unity is the air everyone breathes, even when they forget it. And air doesn't ask for permission. It enters, circulates, and connects. When you choose an intention, it doesn't stay confined to your head. It permeates people, places, and objects, and finds paths you couldn't control with spreadsheets. Therefore, when you invoke a desire, do so as if you were planting a seed in a common field, tending the land around it, because the harvest will come where you least expect it. Reality responds on the scale of the whole, not the individual. Some say, "I can't make a difference. I'm just one among billions." It's as if the drop refuses to be water. But the drop is the entire lake in miniature. It carries the same essence, reflects the same sky. When you breathe with this memory, you'll realize that your presence changes the room, your steadfastness calms, your listening heals, your courage blazes trails. Unity is not a concept. It is a state of remembrance. So, in this first step, invite your heart to align with the greater good. Make a small choice today that will help more people than just you. It could be an apology, a glass of water, or a listening silence. By doing so, you activate the law that connects all dots and discover, to your amazement, that what seemed distant begins to move in your direction. Everything emits a tone, like an instrument tuning before a concert. Words have sound, thoughts have texture, attitudes have mood. This law states that the universe reads you by the melody you convey, not by the arguments you present. When your tone rises, doors that were stuck unlock. When your tone falls, the same door seems like a wall without a handle. Recognizing your own sound is the first gesture of sovereignty. You don't have to fake joy when you're hurting. You just need to choose a step that lifts your mood a little. Sometimes it's a short walk, an open window, a glass of water drunk with presence. Small gestures are like adjusting the dials on a radio. In a few minutes, the station changes and the inner landscape brightens. The key is consistency, not intensity. Observe how places retain their atmospheres. There are houses that seem to embrace, others that press against your chest. People too. Someone arrives and the atmosphere breathes. Another enters and the air becomes heavy. None of this is distant mystical. It's pure everyday life. You feel it, your body knows it, your skin confesses it. Use this radar to better choose your companions, your schedules, your habits. Tuning in is an act of self-respect. Vibration governs the language of the encounter. When you align with sincere gratitude, coincidences seem to conspire in your favor. The bus arrives on time, the email you've been waiting for arrives, the doctor has a fitting appointment. It's not stage magic, it's coherent tone. People and situations resonate with what you sing, even without words. Today, choose a simple attunement ritual. 3 breaths before opening the app that stresses you out. A conscious glance at the sky even if it's cloudy. A whispered thank you before your first sip of coffee. You don't control the world, but you do control the tone with which you enter it, and tone sooner or later reorganizes the room. As within, so without. As without, so within. This law functions like an honest mirror, unadorned and unmisleading. Those who harbor chaos within will always encounter noise outside. Those who water an inner garden see flowers bloom where it seemed deserted. It's neither punishment nor reward. It's a reflection. The world responds to the design you design without realizing it. Maybe you get upset with people who don't respect you, but you treat yourself impatiently whenever you make a mistake. The mirror shows it. Maybe you complain about the lack of time but use it to feed distractions that drain you. The mirror shows it. This isn't about blaming, it's about liberation. If the pattern is born within you, the key is also hidden within you. Try changing your self-talk for a week. Replace "I'm just like this" with "I'm learning." Replace "nothing works" with "I'm building consistency." Replace "I don't deserve this" with "I'm preparing to receive." Notice how silently certain external doors begin to open, not because the world has become nicer, but because you've changed the password. Sometimes the mirror reveals old pains, inherited voices, promises you made when you were afraid. Look at it with affection, as if you found a younger version of yourself needing a hug. Give it a hug. Say, "I hear you, but now I'm going to lead." The mirror then changes its image, and with it, the course of the story you retell every morning. If life isn't showing you kindness in return, increase it at home. If it's showing you haste, cultivate breathing space. If it's showing you scarcity, practice sharing. Correspondence is as faithful as a clock. When you change the internal hand, the external time follows suit. Without fanfare, without spectacle, with an elegance that only those who practice it can perceive. You don't pull things with force. You invite them with presence. This law is an invitation to clarity. What do you truly want? Not what they told you you should want, but what your heart recognizes as the path. When desire is sincere, life sweeps the dust from the track. When it's just a whim, everything seems heavy. The secret is to align desire with the service it provides to the whole. Many people try to visualize as if it were a mechanical task, but visualizing isn't drawing a mental poster. It's tasting what you choose as if it were already happening, and acting as if you trust the process. Attraction is nourished by coherence. Desire without action becomes fog. Action without desire becomes fatigue. Together, they are a driving force. Pay attention to how you speak about what you want. Does it come with a sparkle in your eyes or with preemptive apologies? Do you surrender your cause to the rumors of chance or take responsibility? Reality is sensitive to this calm, commanding tone. When you say "I choose" with your whole body, what seemed unlikely begins to look for a way to happen. Sometimes you think you're attracting something, but what comes is a preparation stage. You ask for a better job, and a course appears to hone a forgotten skill. You ask for a healthy relationship, and a period of solitude arises so you can relearn how to listen to yourself. It's not the universe denying you, it's the universe preparing you. Accept the steps as part of the arrival. To activate this law, do a simple exercise. Write in meaningful detail a page of your ideal day a year from now. Read it aloud for 7 days, always at the same time. Then perform a small gesture that matches that ideal day. If the text is about health, walk for 10 minutes. If it's about prosperity, organize a bill. If it's about love, call someone you care about. Attraction loves consistency. There's a difference between acting out of desperation and acting out of listening. The former consumes, the latter fuels. This law teaches that reality favors steps taken from a place of silence, where the decision is born clean, without the rush to prove anything to anyone. When you learn to wait for the right moment, the same gesture yields tenfold. Inspired action often arrives as a quiet flash, a phrase that offers itself, a person who comes to mind, an email you realize you need to write now. It's not loud, it's precise, and precision saves energy. You stop pushing against walls and learn to choose doors. This doesn't mean standing still, it means moving with grace. Many people confuse inspiration with motivation and become dependent on videos, quotes, and applause. Motivation can be a useful match, but it burns out quickly. Inspiration is a constant ember. It feeds on rest, silence, and habits that cleanse the inner world. If you're always saturated, inspiration whispers behind glass. Create space to hear it. When the step comes from this place, synchronicities blossom. You send a message and the person responds, "I was just thinking about you." You decide to review a project on the very day the client decides to give you a second chance. This isn't idle luck. It's perfect timing. And timing is the invisible architecture of serene success. Today, don't do everything. Do what pulsates. If 2 tasks demand your attention, choose the one that calls with a soft yes inside, not the one that screams with guilt. With each small choice like this, you shape the path. And the path, well educated, leads you without dragging you. Nothing is lost in the void. Every word, every gesture, even the thought you believe has died within you, leaves invisible marks that sooner or later materialize in the landscape of your life. It's as if existence were a vast, never-resting fertile field, always ready to receive the seeds you sow, conscious or unconscious. This law doesn't function as punishment, but as natural justice. If the harvest isn't pleasing, you don't need to wait for external miracles. You can simply change the seed. This awareness brings relief, because it removes the burden of waiting for something to come from outside, and gives you back the power to rewrite your destiny through new choices, however small. Sometimes, without realizing it, you sow haste, and later on, you're surprised to reap anxiety. You sow sarcasm in conversations and then wonder why you receive indifference. You sow disorder in your routine and are astonished when time always seems to slip through your fingers. The field of life doesn't judge. It simply returns in the form of reality what you give it every day. And this is one of the greatest invitations of this law. Instead of blaming life for the fruit, honestly observe what the seed was. The beauty lies in realizing that, if the harvest is inevitable, then changing the sowing is also inevitably effective. Some effects happen instantly, like when you smile and receive a smile back, or when you utter a harsh word and immediately feel the air heavy. But there are long-term effects that require patience and maturity, like the work of someone who plants a vineyard and knows that only years later will the wine be ready to be enjoyed. Therefore, understanding this law also means learning to respect the growing seasons. If you want lasting fruits, you must accept the rhythm of the season. Just as the farmer trusts the silence of the earth until the seed breaks through the soil, you must trust the invisible processes that are working in your favor, even when your eyes cannot yet see them. When a painful effect appears, the first reaction is often to ask, "Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" But the key isn't in the victim's question, it's in the learner's question. What is this trying to teach me? What seed did I drop back then? And now it has blossomed in a way I didn't expect? When you change the question, you also change the place from which you react. Suffering ceases to be a courtroom and becomes a school. It is in this moment that consciousness expands and you understand that you are not being punished, but called to perceive something you hadn't seen before. Therefore, practicing this law means deliberately choosing new seeds every day. If yesterday you sowed impatience, today you can sow kindness. If before you sowed carelessness, today you can offer presence. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. A thoughtful look, a calmer word, a reorganized habit are powerful seeds. Remember that life always gives back, and the return is faithful. Perhaps not at the pace you desire, but at the exact pace you need. Trust the harvest. It always arrives, and the field never fails. Life has a delicate balance that never fails. Everything you give comes back in some form, often from another source with a different face. Compensation is neither punishment nor reward. It's adjustment. It ensures the dance remains fair, even when the steps seem confusing. And that's why giving doesn't impoverish you. It supports you. When you deliver real value, a calming word, a job done with care, an honorable commitment, it registers. Sometimes the return comes as money, sometimes as health, friends, opportunities, a saving intuition. You never go empty-handed when your hands become accustomed to giving. The opposite is also true. When you hold back out of fear, the channels narrow. There's a myth that to receive you have to ask loudly and impose your presence. But observe the most prosperous people in soul. They receive much because they become generous channels. They don't keep track of affection. They let the water flow. Life, grateful, gives back in rivers. And when the return arrives, they are not ashamed. They say thank you and continue serving. This doesn't mean accepting exploitation. The scale rewards clarity. Saying no to what is unfair also sows the seeds of good compensation, because it protects your field and teaches the world how to treat you. Don't confuse kindness with submission. The scale recognizes differences and rewards you when you respect yourself while respecting others. Practice neutral giving today without an audience. Help someone without expecting recognition. Improve a job without saying, "Look what I did." Forgive a mistake without becoming an emotional debt. Do this as if you were changing the filter in your own heart. The compensation will come when you've even forgotten the seed. And on that day, you'll smile and think, it's the scales working. Everything can change shape. Pain can become strength. Fear can become prudence. Anger can become courage. Life is a vast laboratory where nothing is condemned to always be what it is. This law offers respite for those who feel trapped in their own history. You are not what happened to you. You are what you do with what happened to you. Transmuting isn't denying. It's looking at the shadow and asking, what did you come to teach me? It's diffusing the blow and using the energy to build a bridge. When sadness comes, invite it to sit down and tell you what it hasn't seen. When jealousy arises, investigate what needs security within you. Raw energy, when recognized, becomes an ally. Many try to skip steps and hide their pain in scented drawers. But the pain in those drawers rattles at night and you wake up tired. If you name things, they stop haunting you. Cry when you need to, but cry to cleanse, not to live in water. Then get up, wash your face, and turn your crying into a decision. Transmutation is a craft and requires simple tools: honest writing, genuine conversation, a moving body, art that extracts what was stuck. A song sung with an open heart changes the mood of a house. A conversation that says, "I felt this way," pacifies an entire field of confusion. A long walk reorganizes thoughts like someone realigning books on a shelf. Choose a difficult emotion from this week and tell it, "I will transform you into fuel." Create a ritual for it. Maybe light a candle. Maybe cook a recipe that requires patience. Maybe tidy up an old drawer. Do it with intention. As your hands work, your story is rewritten, and what was once a burden becomes a wing. Everything gains meaning when compared to something. Saying a mountain is high means nothing until you see the valley. Saying you had a bad day means nothing until you remember the day you almost gave up and woke up anyway. This law reminds us that reality changes when we change our frame of reference. And this gives you back a secret power: choosing your perspective. When you see yourself as a permanent victim, the whole world seems like a series of threats. When you see yourself as a learner, every difficulty becomes a lesson. The situation remains the same. The observer changes. Choosing the right frame isn't lying to yourself. It's placing the camera where the truth is most useful. You don't deny the desert, but learn to look to the guiding star. Poorly chosen comparisons make you sick. You measure yourself against what you see in digital showcases and feel small. You forget that you're not comparing stories. You're comparing edits. Swap someone else's stage for your own. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and celebrate a 1% improvement. The miracle lies in that small, stubborn progress. Relativity also teaches humility. By remembering that your drama is important to you, but it's not the center of your world, you become kinder. And curiously, the kinder you become, the lighter your drama becomes. The weight you release returns as help. Life rewards those who let go of the need to always be right. Today, when something irritates you, adjust your lens. Ask yourself, what would this look like if I were looking from above? What does this teach the version of myself I want to be? How big will this problem really be in 5 years? The answers don't solve everything, but they give you back the helm. And with the helm back, the sea obeys better. Everything in the world carries two poles, like an infinite line with two ends that, instead of hating each other, complement each other. Where there is cold, warmth is already announced. Where there is sadness, joy lies dormant. Where there is darkness, the promise of light remains hidden, ready to manifest at the right moment. This law did not come to divide us, but to teach us to find harmony in contrast. Those who reject one pole inevitably become attached to the other. But when you learn to embrace both, something magical happens. A new wisdom is born within you, capable of seeing meaning in even the most difficult experiences. When you understand polarity, you stop condemning emotions as if they were unwanted intruders. Anger, for example, may seem like a destructive flame, but if used consciously, it can become the engine of courage, a warning that your boundaries are being crossed. Fear, which many treat as an enemy, also plays a role. It alerts, preserves, and shows you that you need to be more careful on certain paths. Even joy, when exaggerated and used as an escape, can keep you from seeing reality as it is. Nothing is entirely good or entirely bad. It all depends on how, when, and how much you allow each pole to manifest. Relationships flourish when this law is honored. Instead of expecting the other to be an identical reflection of yourself, you begin to value differences as part of the dance that creates balance. Where you are intense and fast-paced, the other can be calmer and more detailed. Where you have a broad vision, the other can see the minutiae. This is how together you build a more complete life. If you try to nullify the opposite pole so that only yours dominates, you create a terrain of imbalance, like a season that never changes. Imagine living in eternal summer or endless winter. Life would lose its charm because richness lies in alternation. In practice, applying polarity means learning to name the extremes and finding balance within yourself. If you're overly permissive, it might be time to practice firmness. If you're becoming too rigid, you need to make room for lightness and laughter. If you work yourself to exhaustion, rest stops being a luxury and becomes a vital necessity. The poles don't appear to punish you, but to show you the path to integration. When you learn to embrace both sides, you discover that you don't need to live at war with yourself. You can be serious and playful, firm and flexible, strong and vulnerable. This isn't a contradiction, it's completeness. Today you can put this law into action. Look at your week and choose a polo shirt you're mastering. If you find yourself saying yes to everything, practice saying no lovingly. If you find yourself constantly rushing, walk more slowly, savoring each step, feeling the ground beneath your feet. If you're always silent, take a moment to speak aloud a truth your heart has been holding. Balance doesn't mean staying in a dull middle ground, but learning to play both poles wisely, transforming life into a song in which the low and high notes meet to form a perfect melody. Everything in the universe moves in cycles. The heart beats in contraction and expansion. The tides advance and retreat. The seasons follow one another with mathematical perfection. Day gives way to night and night surrenders to day again. Nothing escapes this dance, and yet we insist on fighting it, wanting certain phases to last forever and others to end instantly. But this law reminds us of something essential. Every movement has its time. Every moment has its purpose. And when you learn to flow with the rhythm, life ceases to be a battlefield and becomes a choreography that carries you effortlessly. In high moments when everything seems to be going well, when doors open and fruits spring forth in abundance, you feel as if you're in the midst of victory. But it's precisely at this stage that you need to remember to plant for the future, because the tide will soon recede, not as punishment, but as part of the natural order. In low moments, when silence takes over and nothing seems to prosper, you have the chance to fertilize the soil, repair tools, and strengthen roots. Just like the farmer who understands winter not as an enemy but as an ally of the coming summer, you can learn to use the pause to prepare for the coming harvest. The problem isn't the rhythm of life, but our resistance to it. When things cool down, you think you've lost your luck. When they heat up too much, you despair, afraid it won't last. These mood swings make us hostages to an emotional roller coaster. But when you accept that the phases naturally alternate, your soul rests, and you gain the wisdom to avoid getting too excited about the highs or despairing about the lows. You understand that life is made of waves, and that the secret isn't to stop the wave from coming, but to learn to surf it. To cope well with rhythm, you need to create small rituals that mark the beginning and end of cycles. You can, for example, start each week with a symbolic gesture of opening, lighting a candle, writing 3 intentions, giving thanks for what's beginning. And you can end each week with another gesture, a silent pause, a list of lessons learned, a prayer of gratitude. The body and mind need this sense of closure and new beginning to avoid getting lost in the whirlwind of time. Just as the heart needs beats to circulate blood, your life needs markers that organize energy. Today I invite you to listen to the music playing in your day. Maybe it's a fast-paced song calling for courage and action. Maybe it's a slow-paced song calling for rest and reflection. Maybe it's a melody of sharing, calling for encounter. When you dance to the music instead of trying to impose a forced rhythm, life becomes less burdensome. You're not dragged along by cycles, but guided by them. And then you realize that time is not the enemy, it's the conductor. Those who learn to respect the rhythm find peace in any phase. Every creation is born from the encounter of 2 complementary principles: what dreams and what makes, what imagines and what builds, what embraces and what directs. This law reminds us that wishing is not enough, we must gestate, and acting is not enough, we must nurture. When these 2 arms work together, The world receives something new and healthy. You have within you a side that nests ideas like someone guarding a flame, and a side that carries that flame to light bonfires. If one dominates, life limps. Dreamers who don't materialize suffer frustration. Doers who don't listen waste fuel. The secret is wise alternation. Hours of incubation, hours of execution. Projects require time to develop. You can rush a meeting, but you can't rush the maturation of a vision that requires silent nights. Learn to listen when the project is still a seed and how it wants to emerge. Then, when the time comes, don't hesitate. Protect the newborn from premature criticism and give it simple routines to grow. Relationships also obey this law. They require warmth, care, and a welcoming presence, and they require direction, agreements, and clear boundaries. When a couple balances these two forces, the house becomes a home. When a team balances them, work becomes a masterpiece. It's not magic, it's engineering of the heart. Choose an idea you've been carrying for a while and decide what stage it's at. If it's raw, offer silence, research, or drawing. If it's mature, announce it, set a date, or ask for help. Learn to alternate between receiving and offering. The world needs your work, but your work needs your care. Now that you have the 12 laws in hand, let's put them together. I propose 7 days of practice that can realign your compass without requiring drastic revolutions. It's a simple protocol, almost secret in its obviousness, but powerful when practiced with sincerity. It combines unity, vibration, correspondence, and inspired action with small daily rituals. On day 1, choose a central intention that serves the whole. Write it in a short sentence, in the present tense, as if it were already true, and read it quietly upon waking and before bed. On day 2, pay attention to your tone. Drink water mindfully, move your body for 20 minutes, and give thanks for 3 specific things. On day 3, organize a physical space, a desk, a drawer, a digital folder, so that the outside reflects the inside. You'll be materializing the correspondence in a tangible way. On day 4, take an inspired step, a message, a request, a beginning. Don't force anything, listen and act. On day 5, practice compensation. Offer something sincere to someone without expecting anything in return. It could be knowledge, it could be time, it could be forgiveness. On day 6, transmute an emotion. Write 3 pages by hand, pouring everything out, and at the end, burn or tear it up as a sign of passing. Feel the lightness enter. On day 7, celebrate rhythm and polarity. Do something that combines rest and movement. A slow walk at sunset, a long bath after tidying your room, a home-cooked meal after finishing a long-delayed task. Each day, repeat your central intention and notice, with serene wonder, that small coincidences begin to smile upon you, as if the world has sensed your new tone. At the end of the week, don't stop. Start over as many times as you like. Life is generous to those who persist gently. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you already are when you peel back the layers of noise. This protocol is a bridge back home. We've reached the final stage of this journey together, and perhaps you're feeling something between hope and responsibility. It's a good sign. It means you've recognized within yourself the power to create a climate, to sow seeds, to dance rhythms, to embrace poles, to transform weights into wings. From now on, each morning is a new chapter where laws don't remain on paper. They become ways of looking, ways of speaking, ways of acting. You're no longer asking for permission randomly. You're choosing consciously. Maybe you fear slipping and falling back into old habits. I tell you this with affection. You will slip. Everyone slips. The difference now is that you have a map and tools. When you fall, observe the cause, adjust your pace, summon transmutation, ask for help, and start over. Starting over is not a sign of failure. It's the signature of those who go far. Life prefers delicate bravery to perfect heroes. Remember that the outside world is the screen onto which your inner self projects. If the screen shows something that no longer suits you, don't fight it. Adjust the projector. Rephrase your intention, redo your gesture, redo your routine. Learn to celebrate microscopic advances because they are the ones that, together, change the course of the river. And when someone asks what you did to turn the tide, you can smile and say, I started living from the inside out. Now I want to propose a simple, almost childish pact, but one that will seal this journey. Choose, today, a small, public commitment to the reality you want to create. It could be saying, I'll be home by 10 and I'll stick to it. It could be, I'll put my phone away during meals. It could be, I'll finish that email with respect and clarity. When you honor a small commitment, the universe understands the message and entrusts you with larger ones. This is how life recognizes discreet leaders. If this path resonated with you, I invite you to continue walking with me. Subscribe to the channel to receive more practical steps and stories that fuel this positive flame. And to let me know who has truly made it this far, leave the keyword universe in the comments. I want to see how many of us are ready to embrace with ease and courage the power to create our own reality.